Peter Shepard.
Thanks.
Why should Americans trust you and House Democrats on the Jeffrey Epstein files when one of your own, Congresswoman Plaskett, was found to be texting with Jeffrey Epstein during a hearing, getting information from him, using that in her questioning during a congressional hearing, and at one point he tells her, good job?
This is a bipartisan effort to make sure that, consistent with what the survivors have requested, that there's full and complete transparency, and every single predator who may be in those Justice Department files doesn't escape accountability. Thanks. We've always said from the very beginning that we want to follow the facts, apply the law, we'll be guided by the Constitution on any issue. That includes as it relates to the release of these documents.
And then do you condemn Stacey Plaskett just talking to a sex trafficker during a hearing?
I haven't had a conversation with Stacey Plaskett.
But is that troubling?
I have not had a conversation with Stacey Plaskett. In fact, I think Stacey Plaskett has issued a statement as it relates to this, and her statement speaks for itself.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. So we got an absolutely wild story here. This states newly released documents reviewed by the Washington Post appear to indicate that during a 2019 hearing where Michael Cohen testified, Jeffrey Epstein was texting with Delegate Stacey Plaskett from Virgin Islands. Now, of course, you guys know who Michael Cohen is. That is President Trump's former personal attorney who went to prison. And during his hearing, this woman was texting Jeffrey Epstein. This is absolutely insane. The Post reviewed multiple video feeds from the hearing and matched the text, which were sent in Pacific time, with the video. So we're going to see the live footage of the hearing and the text messages coming in. So this is what you're looking at here.
And while we
text from Jeffrey Epstein. It says, "Are you chewing?" So he's asking her. He's watching this live. This is absolutely crazy. He's asking her if she's actively chewing.
were once driving through a struggling neighborhood in Chicago.
She said, "Not anymore."
He commented that only black people could live that way. Attorney-client privilege, yes, I will turn it over.
Now, this is Jeffrey Epstein again. He says, Cohen brought up Rona, keeper of secrets. And you're going to notice that she doesn't know who Rona is, and that's going to be her next question.
My friend Mr. Meadows pointed out, misled this committee even today in a written submission that contradicted your testimony. You
and she says,
you are going to review
Rona,
that.
question mark.
Are you going to review it in our next break to correct the record, yes or no?
Yes.
Question, you helped
and so
out
she's
the
asking them for a quick
campaign.
response. Hey, quick, I'm up next. Is that an acronym for RONA? Because she doesn't know who Rona is.
Or were involved in the campaign as a representative, as a spokesman, even in your words today. It was your idea
That's
for the campaign
his
dating back to
assistant.
2011. Is that accurate, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Weisenberg and other individuals, Ms. Rona. Who are those individuals? Are they with the Trump organization?
They
and
are.
Are there other people that we should be meeting with?
So Alan Weisselberg is the chief financial officer.
You got to quickly give us as many names as you can so we can get to them.
Yes, ma'am.
Is Ms. Rona, what is Ms. Rona's position?
Rona Graff is Mr. Trump's executive assistant.
And would she be able to corroborate many of the statements that you've made here?
Yes, her office is directly next to his. And
Jeffrey Epstein says, good
involved
work.
in a lot.
Wow.
That went on.
Yeah, so there you have it. That's absolutely insane. It looks like she was basically taking instructions from Jeffrey Epstein on how to do her job. That is insane. The amount of things being exposed right now is crazy. But just to give you a little bit more of clarity on the timeline and the text messages going back and forth, check out this quick little clip here.
On a morning of a hearing where the House was questioning Michael Cohen, Plaskett was communicating with Jeffrey Epstein. To be clear, this is years and years after he was convicted in 2008 of soliciting a minor. Plaskett was texting with Epstein that morning, the morning of the hearing that was aired on C-SPAN. She texted with Epstein, "He'll talk about his grades." Epstein responded, "What privilege stands behind the non-release of college transcripts?" He then says, "Great outfit. You look great." All caps. Plaskett replied, "Thanks." It goes on. At 10:41 a.m., Epstein, ever the weirdo, texts her, "Are you chewing?" Plaskett responds, "Not anymore. Chewing interiors of my mouth. Bad habit from middle school." Then Epstein asks when Plaskett's turn for questioning Cohen will come up. And she replies, "Hours. Go to other meetings." But then we get to the meeting. Then we get to her turn. Then we get to the questioning of Cohen. And Epstein tells her, Cohen brought up Rona, keeper of secrets. Plaskett doesn't know who Rona is. You don't know who Rona is. And Rona's in all caps. So Plaskett responds at 2:25 p.m., Rona? Then she says, quick, I'm up next. Is that an acronym? Then finally Epstein responds, that's his assistant. Now listen, this is all of how it played out on text exchange. Now I want to show you the video from a C-SPAN airing. These are time-stamped. So is the C-SPAN time-stamping of that congressional hearing. And you'll see Plaskett look down at her phone as these texts come in and change her questioning, including not knowing the last name of Rona, who she ends up asking about to Cohen.
Mr. Weisenberg and other individuals, Ms. Rona. Who are those individuals? As Ms. Rona, what is Ms. Rona's position?
Rona Graff is Mr. Trump's executive assistant.
And would she be able to corroborate many of the statements that you've made here?
Yes, her office is directly next to his, and she's involved in a lot.
Time-stamped right there. In that moment, another text from Epstein. What does he tell Plaskett? Good job.
Yeah, that is absolutely insane. Once again, it looks like, in my opinion, the Democrats might be in bed with Jeffrey Epstein more than Donald Trump was. I honestly, personally don't believe that Donald Trump was involved in any of those illegal activities that Jeffrey Epstein was involved in. But let's listen to what Trump has to say as far as releasing these files, because apparently they are voting on releasing them, voting to release them tomorrow. So let's listen to what he had to say.
Just to clarify something you posted on Truth Social last night, you urged House Republicans to vote in favor of this Epstein release bill they're going to vote on tomorrow. I just want to be super clear on your position. Do you want to see that pass the Senate? Would you sign that bill if it gets to your desk?
I do want to. Here's what I want. We have nothing to do with Epstein. The Democrats do. All of his friends were Democrats. You look at this Reid Hoffman, you look at Larry Summers, Bill Clinton, they went to his island all the time, and many others. They're all Democrats. All I want for people to recognize a great job that I've done on pricing, on affordability, because we brought prices way down, but they're going way lower, on energy, on ending 8 wars, and another one coming pretty soon, I believe. We've done a great job. And I hate to see that deflect from the great job we've done. So I'm all for it. You know, we've already given 50,000 pages. You do know that. Unfortunately, like with the Kennedy situation, with the Martin Luther King situation, not to put Jeffrey Epstein in the same category, but no matter what we give, it's never enough. You know, with Kennedy, we gave everything and it wasn't enough. With Martin Luther King, we gave everything and it's never enough. We've already given, I believe the number is 50,000 pages, 50,000 pages. And it's just a Russia hoax as it pertains to the Republicans. Now, I believe that many of the people some of the people that we mentioned are being looked at very seriously for their relationship to Jeffrey Epstein. But they were with him all the time. I wasn't at all. And we'll see what happens. What I just don't want Epstein to do is detract from the great success of the Republican Party, including the fact that the Democrats are totally blamed for the shutdown. You know, they cost our country hundreds of billions of dollars with that, at a lot of inconvenience. So I'm for I don't. They can do whatever they want. We'll give them everything. Sure, I would. Let the Senate look at it. Let anybody look at it. But don't talk about it too much, because honestly, I don't want to take it away from us. It's really a Democrat problem. The Democrats were Epstein's friends, all of them. And it's a hoax. The whole thing is a hoax. And I don't want to take it away from really the greatness of what the Republican Party has accomplished over the last period of time.
Yeah, so there you have it, guys. And Trump is absolutely right. Now, the way that the mainstream media is going to frame when he said that, hey, don't talk about this too much, or this is a hoax, is completely in the wrong way. because he's absolutely right. The more you talk about it, the more of a distraction it is. And everybody knows that this is completely a distraction because of the timing of it. And not only the timing of it, the fact that none of these prominent Democrats seem to mention and pressure the Biden administration to release the Jeffrey Epstein files. Now, when Donald Trump tried to release the grand jury indictments and release the Jeffrey Epstein files that way, and the reason that I believe that he did it is usually in a grand jury indictment, they do not include the names of witnesses. So it only shows the defendant and the charges that they have been charged with, which protects the names of the witnesses, which is what I believe that he was trying to do. And also he's saying that it's a hoax, not because he's saying that because the files or the list doesn't exist. No, it's a Democrat hoax basically saying that Trump is basically involved in Jeffrey Epstein's dealings and all of the illegal activities that he was doing, right? That's exactly what he's saying. When he say that all of this is a hoax, he's basically denying any involvement with what Jeffrey Epstein was doing with underage women or, you know, any of these illegal activities that he's accused of or been charged of doing, right? That's exactly what's going on here. And in my opinion, I think, like I said, the Democrats, I believe, are probably more in bed with Jeffrey Epstein than Trump was. Because if Trump was involved in any illegal activities with Jeffrey Epstein, the Biden administration would have released it. That would have been the cases that he would have been charged with instead of these frivolous little mortgage frauds or paying Stormy Daniels or the Fannie Willis charges, the Alvin Bragg charges, Letitia James, all of these things. They would have never brought up those charges. They would have charged him with something damning like this, involved with underage women, underage children. They call this, our president a pedophile. If those things were true and if there was concrete evidence of those things happening, they would have released him and he would have been charged with those crimes instead of mortgage fraud, right? So once again, this is, I believe, going to backfire on the Democrats. I think they were probably more involved with Jeffrey Epstein than Republicans were. I'm sure there were probably some Republicans involved. I don't give a damn, Republican or Democrat. All of them go down. Even if Trump is involved and if there's evidence to prove that he was involved with Jeffrey Epstein, he should go down as well. And this is, I don't care about what political party these people are affiliated with. If you are a criminal, if you are a pedophile, if you've been involved with touching children and underage women, go to hell. That's just how and what I believe. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about this video. Let's talk about it in the comment section. Let me know what you think should happen to Stacey Plaskett, because once again, just because allegedly Trump was involved with Jeffrey Epstein and been in the same rooms and talked to Jeffrey Epstein, he's a kid diddler, right? That's what they said. Is that the same thing? Is that going to apply to Stacey Plaskett as well, right? Should she be held to the same standards? Yeah, that's what I want to know. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. I digress. Let's talk about it in the comment section. Leave your opinions down below. And of course, if you're brand new, consider hitting subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.